with my club. We have pulled off a coup. We have taken a very important piece of the Manchester City machine away as our new CEO. We're looking to take Dan Ashworth away from Newcastle. Question is, boys, are Ineos serious with these board level and sort of managerial appointments in relation to running our football club? What are we saying, gentlemen?
I want to hear what LB's got to say first and foremost.
Well, what I've got to say is you want the banter answer, or do you want me to give you the proper answer? What you want? Are we doing banter, or are we doing real?
Do the banter first. I want to hear the saltiness. Come on.
Yeah, well, you know what I mean. You're taking someone who's not even in our sort of like top ranks. He's sort of just below our top ranks, and you know it's probably just shows how far your club is fallen that you've made him CEO. You know what I mean? It's that's not great from your point of view. You know, you're taking these guys from Newcastle as well, by the sounds of it. This new owner only owns a quarter of the club. You know what I mean? He's now calling the shots. Your stadium's still falling down. Your training ground isn't big enough by all accounts. Ronaldo slagged it off. Shocking, really. I mean, it's just a laughable state of affairs is your football club. So yeah, just still not really that fussed about your club, man. I think it's going to take at least 5 to 10 years for you guys to even challenge again. So yeah, I'm chill, man. I'm chill. Finished. Your club is finished, bro.
Hey, at least you know what they've done? They've done what a lot of other people have done. They go and they get the brains from other clubs. That's what you guys did with Barcelona. So they're kind of trying to get some people behind the scenes to have some of that information, that talent. I think it's a good move for Manchester United, but I somewhat semi-agree with you. It is going to take a long time for them to get everything ready to go up and running. But we won't know until we start seeing their signings start being better. Maybe if they sack Ten Hag, we see their managerial appointments being better. And then what I'm hearing today, you just lagged off the training ground. They might actually be fixing it up and getting the people who built up Leicester's training ground.
Well, it's only took them 20 years.
So hey, I know it's baby steps though. For Manchester United, they've needed to improve for a long time, and they're taking baby steps in the right direction. Of course, Terry's going to be happy, and Manchester United fans should be.
Yeah, they should be happy. They should be happy. Now, putting that to one side, I've said for some time, man. I think this Ineos guy is gonna put your club in the right direction. I think he's no joker. It's going to take time. That part of it is true. It's going to take a lot of time, especially with the way the market is now. You know, you want any decent player, you're talking 100 million quid, really. But yeah, I think it's a good move. I think it's a good move. This is what United need to do. This is what United have not had for over a decade. Not had a proper structure at the top of the football club. And it finally, you know, it shouldn't really taken this long, but finally it looks like they're sorting this out. You've seen that apparently Omar Barada's now said that any player that's not performing within 2 years will be shipped out. Good. This is like come as like a United fans are buzzing about this on Twitter, and I get why, but this shouldn't be news. This should just be facts. Do you know what I mean?
Do you know what it is, LB, though? For me, again, I try my best to not seek confirmation bias, but I can't help it with this. I've been sitting on streams, and Igal was probably the longest sort of serving panel member of the Terrace that's seen me talk about how the way we're run as a club and our standards from our owners and our board and our decision makers is more important than the Pogbas and the Rashfords and the Brunos and whoever else it is. If you don't have that foundation, you're in trouble. The fact that we don't get rid of underperforming players within a year or two has been a problem. People always say, how can you hate your owners when you spend so much of your club's money? Because we spend it on trash and then we don't rectify our mistakes quickly. So hearing all these things is great. I think the appointment of Omar is really good. Although, yes, he wasn't in the top 2 or 3 positions within Manchester City. You know, he's knocking on the door. And we all know the real reasons that he's leaving. All this nonsense of he's getting out before, you know, they get in trouble is crazy. He wanted to go to this level. There's just no openings at Man City because the guys doing that job are in solid position. So I'm excited. And look, if we can bring in the likes of Dan Ashworth, the likes of Paul Mitchell as well to look at the recruitment side, that's the first step to fixing Manchester United. And it's everything I've been asking for a decade. Competent football decision makers, best in class available in those positions that Man United have not existed since 2013. And guess what? Since 2013, not only have we not won a league title, we haven't challenged for one. So any Man United fan that's upset about this or doesn't understand this, just be a little bit excited, but we have to keep the pressure on. Yes, so Jim, he owns 25%. He'll soon own 29% after a further investment. He is the majority shareholder at Man United because the Glazer shares are held individually by multiple Glazers. So there's no one individual at Man United that holds more power at the club than him. And the fact that he's got his CEO, I think, speaks volumes at this point. So, yeah, I'm really happy with it. And I hope Dan Ashworth is next.
I have a quick question, Terry. Infamously, we had an argument on here after the Wolves game talking about the Glazers. Are you now saying that because he has majority share owners, you still think you can be successful with them having part ownership?
As I said back then, we can be successful with the Glazers as owners if they made huge seismic changes. We won Champions Leagues and did a three-peat with the Glazers as our owners when David Gill and Sir Alex run the club. So it wasn't impossible. It was more about who was running us day to day as opposed to them being here per se. I would still like there to be a plan of action for them to be removed from the club in its entirety. And I think more information about that will come out soon. But again, who owns the club is irrelevant. It's who's running the club. The problem was the Glazers continued to put their banker and accountant friends in those senior roles who consistently appointed the wrong people to manage the club, and they never lost their jobs. It's ridiculous. Imagine hiring 5 failed managers on the bounce and not losing your job. It would never happen in any other industry on planet Earth. It really wouldn't. In any of your jobs, if you failed 5 times running on a project, would you keep your job and get a bonus? No one would. It's crazy. So that is what needs to change more than anything else.
Yeah, I'm interested in seeing what he's going to do with Ten Hag, because ultimately for me that is the biggest question mark about, because obviously he's not joining officially. He doesn't join till August, but of course there'll be discussions going on in the background there. That's the biggest decision he's got to make. Look, he can make other decisions about who he brings in, because no doubt, by the way, he'll probably bring in other people from the club, from City. He's not just going to go there on his own. He'll probably take other people with him.
Some scout.
Yeah, maybe. But the biggest one that he's going to have to make is, what does he do with the manager? And I'm really interested to see whether he gives this guy a chance, or whether he's like, you're not good enough. You know what I mean? Because he's probably shown to me that he's not good enough throughout he's been there. However, he has been manager there with Deadwood above him. Now, will Omar and the team say, right, you've got one season with a bit of a better structure, we'll get you some more players in and you've got to make progress? Or is it just, you ain't good enough, gone? I'm interested to see, because for me, I don't think he's good enough tonight, but it will be interesting to see whether or not he gives them a go.
And you remember something, Terry? I don't think your fans are going to be used to the way that you guys run your business now. It's going to be a little bit more. It's going to be a little bit more, maybe if you don't get your number one target, you're not going to push on for 6 months. You're going to probably move on a little bit quicker. You're going to do things a lot better. But some fans will still be stuck on the old ways, even though it wasn't successful, that they're like, oh, we're Manchester United. We need to get our number one target every time.
Yeah. I mean, I did some research into to Omar last night and some of the deals that he's been influential in at Man City as an example. So the Maguire deal, the club were happy with Maguire, but when the deal got to a point where they didn't feel that it was value for money, they walked away. He was integral in walking away from the Alexis Sanchez situation. And those two stand out to me because we weren't smart enough to do that. And we ended up wasting hundreds of millions of pounds on 2 individuals that have not hit those heights. And it isn't just about signing number one targets. It's about doing smart business. This fan theory of, it's not my money, just spend whatever it takes to get a player in now. It's a foolish way to think. Running a football club is like chess, and a lot of football fans want to play drafts and they don't think 1, 2, 3, 4 steps ahead. And we need a more strategic way of thinking to add. And look, there are some Man United fans that are going to be negative about it, because there's some Man United fans who only get listened to, only get attention when they're being negative. And I saw people saying it's fishy that we're getting this guy. It's ridiculous that we're getting this individual. And the last thing a lot of Man United fans online want is for us to get better, because their careers are over. Their attention seeking is gone if Man United get back. It's true. If we get back to the top, it's an absolute fact. They're done, because people only listen to them when we're in the mud. So that's one of the reasons, aside from winning trophies, I want my club to be back, because there's certain Man United fans who literally, listen, everyone's free to do what they want, but their bloodline, what feeds them is Man United being bad. To take that away, and they will scuttle off back under a rock somewhere.
To see what they say when you guys are winning.
Yeah. You know what, Terry? I've got a point just on what you mentioned there about us walking away from some of them deals, and you're absolutely spot on. I mean, Like, for example, Sanchez, I would have loved Sanchez at City, but City decided that the finances weren't worth it. And there's a great clip, actually. City have uploaded it to the YouTube channel like 2 years ago. And it was Omar and Tiki speaking in an office, and they were talking about transfer targets. And he's quite clued up. Tiki said, it's mad out team if people think we've got the highest wage bill in Europe, and we don't. We're fourth. United were above us. Barcelona was above us. And then Omar said, yeah, we've got a problem though coming. He says, because we keep on winning, players are going to come to us and demand higher wages like the current players. And do you know what he said? He says, we have to say no. He said, we have to say no and just deal with it and deal with whatever happens. You know, he knows what he's doing. And like I said, I think it's a good sign. I'm disappointed to lose him. Of course, I'm disappointed to lose him. Obviously, when you've got a structure that we've had at the club that's been so successful for the last decade, of course, I'd be an idiot to sit him like, oh, I'm not asked. I'm a bit disappointed he's gone. I think you've got a good guy there, but I'm sure we'll replace him with someone adequate. But yeah, I think finally it looks like United might be going down the right direction, but it is going to take a long time. It is.
Yeah, it certainly is. Little things like this setting a standard of if a player isn't delivering within 2 years, they're gone. Maybe even within a year, that's going to take time to settle because some players are going to crumble under that pressure straight away because they're not used to it. So it's going to take. This is why a genuine rebuild of our overarching, our underpinning infrastructure is going to take years. We may improve very quickly in terms of football on the eye. That could be done Ange Postecoglou style very quickly. But being a sustainable challenger and being able to navigate adversity, that structure to build that is going to take years. Man United fans have got to get on board with that. This isn't. And what I do love about this is, well, I mean, Gal, you've been here for it. Patty's been here for it. The amount of fights I've had on streams with people saying, just sack the manager and we'll win league, or get rid of Bruno Fernandes and we'll be a much better team. You know, it's the first thing the ownership are doing is fixing the area that the likes of myself, KJ, Neeks, Indiana, Canadian Cam have all called out since day one. We need to fix the boardroom and the football decision makers first. That is the heart. They are the heartbeat of your football club in the modern day era. They run it. You don't want to know they're there. You don't want to see them every day, but they're just there making sure everything else is working and operating nicely. Our problem is we've basically been having a cardiac arrest for the past 10 years. So we've been noticing the heartbeat. Yeah. So for me, love it. Absolutely love the kind of direction that we're moving in there.